Hey guys, it's Lauren and welcome back to my channel again. Unless you're here for the first time, then welcome. Today I wanted to talk about the fact that no one really has it all figured out. I was thinking about this on the way to actually get coffee this morning while I was in my car, and I was thinking about this email that I recently got from somebody who I really used to look up to a lot when it comes to business. So for those of you who don't know, I've been self-employed now for several years and pretty much consistently been doing the same type of thing, but I've also dabbled in a lot of different business ideas. For a while, I was doing health coaching. I actually am certified as a health coach, not practicing as one. That's going to be a video that I've been meaning to make for a long time. So hopefully one day I'll get around to talking about that. But this person was a business coach, so it was kind of in that realm. They had done some of the same things that I wanted to do. And one thing that I struggle with a lot is when I have a goal, I tend to look too far ahead in the future and want to do 1,000 things at once. And I have trouble with the in-between steps, being patient, believing that the in-between steps are going to get me to the main goal that I have in sight. And so when I see people who are where I want to be, or even like beyond where I want to be in my career, at least up until recently, and still now kind of, but it's always hard for me because it makes me feel like there's so far to go. Anyway, this person seemed to have like the dream life. And it's not just them, it's been several people that I've just encountered in, the field of business or whatever I want to be doing. They might be really savvy online. Their life just seems like the perfect life, maybe they're completely location independent. They are making like 10K plus months, something like that. Usually comes down to money or freedom, or like when I was dealing with binge eating, it would be somebody who was like completely, like they'd have a diet or something that would have like cured them completely. Because it used to be for me, it'd be like, this diet is finally going to make me skinny and it's going to cure my binge eating, which is weird now because I think dieting is what often causes binge eating, but that's a different train of thought. So basically, got an email from them recently, and they had completely, I hadn't heard from them in a year because they hadn't sent anything to their newsletter in a year and had forgotten about it. And they had basically just completely switched around what they're doing. They're not even doing that business anymore. And I've seen this a lot because there's certain people that I followed over the past few years. I had another person who I really thought that they just had the best life ever with their business. I wanted to have their situation, and they would even say that. And then I remember getting a newsletter from them probably 6 months to a year later, and they talk about how they were actually really overwhelmed and stretching themselves thin and neglecting self-care, and in the pursuit of the perfect life, perfect business, they had lost sight of themselves. They had lost sight of what they were actually passionate about. They pushed themselves too hard. Or I've encountered people who they're really successful now, and it might seem like it's been going on for a while, but it may have been very recently. And I know that with a lot of extreme success stories, especially when you look at even, success stories from diets or something, you have to look at that person long term, because you can have a lot of success in the beginning, but it's momentum that matters and how it looks over time to really it's you can have things figured out for a short period of time, right? But life is constantly changing. Life is constantly throwing us curveballs. I guess the point of this is if you feel like everyone else has everything figured out, or even you come across somebody online who's advertising or trying to sell you something that seems like the ultimate number one fix for whatever you're dealing with, approach it with caution, and also don't let it make you feel like complete crap, because chances are it's not as picture perfect as it seems. As somebody who is in the copywriting field, I know how powerful words can be and how much we can make it seem like what we're offering is the holy grail, but that's never the case. And people offer wonderful services. I'm not trying to discount that at all too, because I have things I want to sell in the future to help other people. That's my goal, but it's never going to be like the number one fix that's going to like make everything in your life better. And it also doesn't mean that that person who's selling that thing has everything figured out and that you are in a terrible place because you don't. I think that's the point of that, is what I want to say, because I know when I was first starting out with my business, I experienced a lot of suffering and grief looking at people online who seem to have it all, or they seem to be in the position that I wanted to be in. And more cases than not, as I followed those people over the years, they've either changed careers, or they might have come out, like I said, like saying that they actually weren't as happy, or they were totally overwhelmed. They stopped taking care of themselves. They had to take a step back. Some of these big successes, like, it does take a lot of work. And for me, I've noticed that I'm better at a middle ground because I have to take care of my mental health first and my self-care first. And I have to build a lifestyle that fits around that. And for me, that personally is not trying to be as wealthy as I can be, or trying to have everything that looks good on paper. Really, it's more like what's good for me up here and what fulfills me. So that's really the point of that. Nobody has it all figured out, so it's okay that you don't. And we're all figuring out. And even if somebody, they are way ahead of you in a certain aspect of life, it doesn't mean that they are in every aspect, and we're all struggling with something. And one of the problems with the internet, as wonderful as it can be, is that it's very, very easy to hide the hard parts of our lives and not talk about them and display everything that's good. And I know I've been guilty of that too. I like to share happy pictures of me and my husband and my fur babies and talk about how good life has been last year, but I don't talk about the moments that I'm sitting on my couch in the evenings crying, or, struggling with my mental health, struggling with my ADD, or social anxiety, or, the panic attacks that I've started having, or how I feel completely in despair sometimes. But I also have wonderful things in my life, and I'm happy in a lot of aspects, and I'm working on them. We are always working on improving ourselves, and that's okay. That is life. So you can see my dog there, George's in the background. They are fighting over a bone currently. So I should probably go and take care of that before insanity ensues. But yeah, that's just a reminder for you today. Keep going with whatever you're doing, and if you're trying something that someone else tells you and it's not working for you, maybe it's not for you. We're not all on the same path, and we don't all need the same solutions to be our healthiest and our happiest. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks so much for watching. If you liked this, please give it a thumbs up, please subscribe, and leave a comment below if you have additional thoughts, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.